It's another spectacular Saturday amid the fall foliage in Central New York. And time for preseason basketball as Syracuse hosts Clarion from Pennsylvania. Hey again, everybody, and welcome inside the JMA Wireless Dome along with the former Orange Star, Eric Devendorf. I'm Matt Park. It's great to have you with us for the Cuse, and we are underway with the exhibitions. First of two we'll have for you here in the Dome on ACC Network Extra. Orange with a starting lineup, a little experimentation. This is a game that doesn't count, so Chris Bell not starting, nor is Donnie Freeman, the highly touted recruit. We expect to see them with liberal action, may even start the second half today. Orange unable to connect on their first possession. Clarion wants to get out and go, want to shoot more threes this year than they did last. Made about a third of their attempts a year ago. Their top player is 2 in blue, Cam Carney, and a ball loose on the
defend consistently, and are they able to rebound? Those are the two things that are really going to put them over the top this year.
In the lane, Cam Crockett. He's a newcomer to Houston, played on the same AAU program as Eddie Lampkin there.
Escape now with the NIL, with the transfer portal. I mean, I know it can be frustrating, but it's the name of the game now. Coaches and players alike have to adapt.
Some rust here in the early going. Depth perception always an issue shooting in the Dome for everybody early on. Nice Storovitz on the backdoor feed from Carlos.
We talked if it's orange or blue or red or whatever it is. The basket's right in front of me. I'm going to shoot the ball.
Oh, I know you're shooting it, but I was saying the depth perception, I think, is a little different. It might feel more closed in. Certainly has in the football season, and we'll see how it impacts the visitors in hoops. And if you shoot from right there, you're...
And early on, you just see the ball moving by Syracuse, getting open looks. You know, the first one, Peter, and then Eddie right here. And Eddie's just showing a vocal leader. Being a grad student, be one of the older guys.
Relative to an ACC roster. Lampkin capable of handling the ball, Eric, and that provides the Orange a lot of options. Here's J.J. Starling on the take, and he figures to be one of the Orange's key players.
And then Eddie just being able to shoot the ball is just going to space the floor even more for the rest of the Orange guys.
Golden Eagles like to push. Trey Nelson, very good ball handler, but a steal out front from Carlos, in this case, bouncing for the hammer by Lucas Taylor.
This is an exhibition game. You want to be able to set the tone for the rest of the season and the games going forward. High energy, competing at a high level.
Red always professes that, and especially the deeper your team is, the easier you can preach it.
He's going to do play defense and then rebound the ball on a consistent basis. I think if he can do those two things, he's already an NBA prospect, but he'll shoot up the draft boards even higher if he can do those.
Carlos to the corner. That's sweet for J.J. Starling. First three off the screen on the right side. He's missed the mark twice. Freeman boards the miss.
Just
Freeman
like
on the run.
Great pace.
Well, I think because you're so confident in the ball handling of Carlos, and in this case Starling, you can go as fast as they take you. Starling, the early leader's got 7 points.
And man, that's a good point, because you saw JJ make a lot of decisions last year handling the ball. So we know he's capable of doing it, but you want Carlos to be able to have that. But in time, you know, JJ gets the opportunities, he can push it as well and make plays.
Thomas stops the run by getting his second deuce. He scored all the points for Clarion. Freeman from distance. One-handed board by Eddie Lampkin and an easy putback. You get used to seeing that, huh?
Yeah, Eddie, you know, he's not the most athletic guy, but I think he's smart. He has good body position. You know, he's a guy that can give you 7-8 boards a game.
Left-handed three is down the middle for Jeremy Thomas. Not part of his game. He was 0 for 2 from three-point range all of last season. He's got all the scoring for Clarion. Good touch pass down into Lampkin. Look out below.
Hey! Okay, I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete. My fault, Eddie. Put it down, big fella.
Nelson dribbles off his own foot. Nice dive for Carlos to get there. He finds Freeman with a pass to the basket. DC caliber, jumper out front for Kearney yet to get going. And because Starling gets the rebound, he can start the transition game.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if they, you know, put Chopper on the ball and, you know, let him make decisions and handle a little.
On one of the areas where he could improve. Lampkin calls for it left to the lane. On the back down.
I got it.
How sweet is that? Only had a couple more two-point jump shots.
See, Matt, the tricky thing about, you know, you make a few jump shots in the beginning and then you kind of fall in love with it and you don't have that balance. You know, and work from the inside out.
There is not somebody who's gotten to the line a lot historically or rebounded a lot.
And for this Clarion team.
Justice Easter into the lane. Batted away by Donnie Freeman and the Orange run. Bell on the catch and shoot. What do you think?
And that's what he does. Knock it down. Great find by Chopper. I know we have his height.
Nelson is the initiator, and that's good from the corner by Trayton Gray, tallest player for Clarion at 6'9". Multi-dimensional players, everybody that can pass, shoot, and dribble, and from there it's just read the open floor, right?
Absolutely. I mean, basketball is a game of making reads. You just got to be able to make quick decisions, and he has the guys that can make decisions. They're versatile, you know, 1 through 5, and he has depth. So he's built for being able to play like that.
First points for Trey Nelson. Davis, the skip pass. Look at that from Bell, putting it on the deck, and he's fouled, so it gets him to the line. Only a junior. He feels like he's played a lot, but
sophomore year. Junior year, he gets all Big East, and then senior year, he's Big East player of the
year. Fouled. Long range miss for Dow, cleaned up by Cam Crockett. Weeks, and he's very realistic about what's expected here. We're going to play our way, not back down, try to compete. Starling pure from out front, a long deuce.
You love to see JJ just being aggressive and used.
Newly into the game, 0 in blue is Jalen Shippen. Shippen, a Lower Marion High School product, a la Kobe Bryant. Cody, unselfish, boarded by Justice Easter. Easter able to get a step on a defender and get
great passer. Really liking what you're seeing from Lampkin early on.
Cody is instant offense. His time of possession not hot. Alma mater.
Hard-nosed coach.
Shot clock down for the first time in the game, and a miss on the drive by Crockett. The Orange on the counter strike. Carlos. How efficient.
Put it down and get to the rim, and also defensively, I think he's the guy who could really help out, get some steals and some deflections.
Fadeaway doesn't go for Taylor, juggled into the arms of Lampkin for Bell. Book it.
When's the best time to get open three-pointer? Off offensive rebound.
You know what Chris Bell is. Chris Bell's ready for the regular season.
Absolutely.
They don't need him on the floor a great deal in these games against a Division II team.
Lampkin is a great cook, by the way. He's a great chef. I've had a few of his meals, so he's, after basketball is done, you know, he has a career in that as well, I guess.
Better than his coordination of his sneakers,
yeah.
I hope. Yeah. Carlos 2 for 2.
Man, I tell you what, he just makes this team 10 times better.
Clarion having a hard time getting quality shots. That's an exception. Good play. Trader Gray, just a glancing blow on the rim, boarded by Bell. Taylor with the accelerator down for Freeman. May not get that call at this level, Donnie. In fact, the foul's on you.
Yeah, that was probably a championship under his belt. And he really helped me from day one, just coming in here in the tournament. So he's going to have help along the way. He doesn't have to do it by himself.
Gray, 1 out of 2 at the line. Taylor on the blow-by with an assist to the corner for Chapa.
Matt, when do we get to see the elbow? We're talking about the elbow. I know he's a TikTok famous.
He kind of played it down there. It looked like.
He did. He gave us the ding.
Kearney quiets the crowd for a moment. Nice wraparound, Lampkin inside, yes, and one for Carlos. Carlos has played big. Little weave action up top. Nelson in the game for Clarion. In the paint, Crockett, get out of here. Goaltend on Donnie Freeman. Jared Davis gets it started. Shot clock is about 2 seconds ahead of the game clock.
They're kind of a ball screen with a, where's it going to go? There it goes.
Carlos, a little high, tough shot for Moore.
Went a tad late.
Yeah, he was, because the initiation was late, forced him into an awkward pass and a difficult shot. Along with Lucas Taylor, and then the ones that you would expect in the lineup, Carlos, Starling, and Lampkin. You get residuals from the officials union? You have your own zebra striped shirt? Or
You know what? I need to.
Starling picks up where he left off, knocks down his second triple, and he leads all scorers with a dozen.
Well, Matt, it's rare that they come over and admit their mistakes. They're talking about the Donnie Freeman block right there. It was a block. It wasn't a goaltend. So it's good to see him coming over here and admitting that they were wrong. And
again, it's funny the different things that happen when the game doesn't count. Left-handed finish here by Jeremy Thomas. Nice of the officials. Good to have relationships with these guys. Pat Driscoll and Mike Kitts, Brian O'Connell, all class acts, very accomplished.
Yeah, all great guys.
Backdoor. And my Storovich, an easy lay-in.
You know, that's a rarity right there. It just makes their offense move that much better.
52-31 Cuse, and Thomas is taking it upon himself to make it.
I don't know if he dunked on Eddie, but he's going to tell everyone he did.
Carlos, first miss of the game, cleaned up by Starling. Down into Lampkin, who draws a double team. JJ tries again. Knuckleball off the glass and in.
Peter's going to be able to have those opportunities. He's going to be better. He's going to knock those down.
My man Cody does not mess around.
No hesitation. Hey, I'm in the dome today, Dad. He's calling his mom and dad. I'm getting him up. I'm getting him up.
He is the black hole of the
good for you, Cody.
Clarion offense. On the push, off balance, Crockett.
Not looking too much into the preseason polls. I mean, like we talked about earlier, into the preseason. You want to play these exhibition games, see where your team's at, and then
close. Has missed just twice.
You know, despite that miss, you know what, Coach Red has been doing a great job of getting guys in their spots where they can have success. And so much of the offense is about that. You want to move, you want to get space, but being able to get guys in spots where they can create and make a play, that's huge. Coach Red is doing a great job of getting guys in spots.
Kearney's cooking a little bit now. He's got always a hush. Comes over the dome, small crowd.
Throw an elbow. I'm not saying knock somebody out, but go ahead and just get yourself involved a little bit more. I mean, earlier in the game, three-point opportunities off of those.
Freeman gets it back to 20 with the free throw. And yeah, they're starting to get Kearney going a little bit. He's got a dozen points for Clarion, 5 minutes into the second half.
It's just a matter of time. He's a basketball player. He can score the basketball. He's got a strong body. He's going to be able to get to his spot. It's just a matter of making the shot.
Rocket from Bell into Freeman. Nice pass.
And we've seen the
record. How about make one once in a while?
Hey, you know what? Get him up, young man. This is a great story to tell later in your career, man, right here.
I love it.
I went 1 for 14 in the JMA dome, but I shot him, though.
That's right. You got him up, man. Wow. Their team's leaders.
Yeah, we talked about he's familiar with the ACC. He was at Wake Forest. He had 27 on the bench, dapping each other as they go through. Everybody's getting a chance. It's good to see early on in the season.
Well, it is an exhibition game, and you might as well exhibit what you've got, and that's what the Orange are doing at this point. Jaquan Carlos has just been so smooth. You feel blue seats here at the Dome.
Right, first 7 minutes of the game.
Nelson in traffic. Bailed out. Whistle the foul against Donnie Freeman. Donnie's second. And a very regular facet of this game.
Because when you shoot the ball, sometimes it's pulling. So I need to have it tucked out. I understand, guys, but just tuck in your jersey. You won't have to hear from those guys anymore.
Don't want to give the officials the satisfaction of having to tell you. Freeman cuts an impressive figure in that number one. Bell changing spots, same result, knocking down another three.
Out off. Chris Bell's doing what we know he's capable of doing.
It's not by accident. They go down on a regular basis. He is a pleasure to watch in practice. He makes everything he looks at. In the corner, Dow rattles one in. Josiah Dow, pick and pop kind of player.
That one counted.
That's right. You were teasing us all going back to overtime again. Chop it down the middle. Hand off Naheem McLeod, seeing his first action. Had to dig it out, and still able to ring the bell.
Yeah, it's good just to see him. You know, jokingly, the football coach at Clarion was going to, ask him to, jokingly but not jokingly, ask him to play football. Coach Pitts shut that down right away.
Pardon the interruption as Chris Bell smooths in another one. 16 points for Bell. Ready for the regular season, which starts on the 4th of Monday night against Lemoyne. Kearney has had a much better second half than first.
And I think this is good for Bell. It's a good challenge because you're going to have to be able to sit down and play D. We know you can shoot the ball. Can you play defense? Can you rebound the basketball at a high rate?
Carlos continues to see he's a better player than he was when he went to Wake Forest. And so we watch the evolution of that.
Yeah, and it's hard nowadays, just players being patient, with themselves, trusting the process. And, Carlos, he's one of those.
Pushes it and can shoot enough, obviously. Averaged about 10 points a game for the Pride. Won't be asked to do a lot of scoring here for the Orange. Naheem tripped up on the take. McLeod missed the second half of last
occasion for
the Carlos numbers at the moment. We still have a quarter of the game to play. 14 points, 8 assists.
For what Coach Red is trying to build and what he's trying to do.
You think about how a team bonds as
down and recruit from the New York City area, and Red obviously has done a great job doing that.
Fans that follow the program on social media may have seen the little poll they did about who's going to win the World Series, Yankees or Dodgers. Nobody's surprised that that was one-sided as Jair Davis gets his first points. Yeah, 30-point game for the first time.
Are the Yankees the most known organization out of sports in the world? Would it be?
Sure they are.
Yeah, I mean, them and who else?
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys, yeah. It's unbelievable how many people watch soccer. I mean, I've actually started to be more of a fan, but man, most popular sport in the world.
Like that, Bell fake, drive, pass for a 3 by Chapa.
And I'm good.
Practice.
Well, I don't want to take the credit for it because it was actually the GM, Alex Klein, and we're going to shout out Alex Klein, who's done a great job of recruiting players. But he did give me the P.J. Tucker-esque role, and I agreed with it. I think he could be a grinder. He's a guy grinded out here, and I think Syracuse has the depth and they have the talent to be able to compete.
We're sending it around the perimeter a number of times on the first possession out of the break, and Moore draws a foul on the drive.
It's good to see Chopper put it on the ground a little.
Judah Mintz, here's the keys from day one, and you're expected to.
Carlos is going to make the game easier for multiple people. One thing about Chopper Moore is he is going to be in that tournament, competing every single year, and she's done a great job of reloading again, and we want to be able to support our men and women here at Syracuse, and Coach Jack has just done a great job of, competing and putting them in the conversation every time.
Freeman with his back to the bucket, the turnaround with the spill. 11 points for Donnie. Women's season opens for real against Niagara here on the 5th. Reverse layup good for.
They're doing. You can't ask them much more. They're outmatched. They're obviously bigger, stronger on the Syracuse side. So you just want these guys to go out there and continue to compete.
The rebound by the smallest guy on the floor, Trey Nelson. Kearney against Kyle Cuff. Count it.
Well, yeah, he's Kearney is a professional scorer. He gets it to a spot. He gets in that mid-range, and once you get to your spots, like we talked about, you're going to have better opportunities to score the basketball.
Donnie Freeman like that spot at the top of the key. His first 3-pointer. Kearney against Cuff, physical play, and there's another personal on Kyle. Here's at Clarion. 17 points now after a.
I think, Matt, he's a guy that if he can continue to play basketball.
As much a long-range shooter, tends to work inside, but skilled at that. Donnie Freeman loads up another triple. Boarded once more by Nelson. Gets around Kyle Cuff and back to Thomas.
And I get the average fan watching the game say, why is Donnie Freeman shooting so many threes right now? We were at practice this week, and after every practice is done, push a button to get this guy to the next level, and Coach Red and staff have been a great job.
Cuff the trailing block. How about the counter strike here by the Cuse? Freeman look away to Peter and one. By Storovich on the payoff. The block shot at the rim by Kyle Cuff.
Easy opportunities in transition, and the best way to do it is get a block or get a steal and then run out and.
weave action to cuff. Yeah, a little payoff, right? You make the block at one end, and they look out for you on the offensive end. Good shot by Kyle. And this time didn't have his feet set. 45% of his three-pointers. I don't care what level you're playing at. That is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to come out here and compete. We were saying that from the beginning. And he was a guy last year who was top 10.
Rightfully so. The Orange will take on another PSAC team here on Wednesday night as Slippery Rock comes in. J.J. Starling on the payoff there.
Great look from Peter. Two things I've noticed from Peter right away. And things that can see, I guess, to see, but he's a guy that he's going to get other guys open, and that's going to...
European basketball, you've played all over the world. They just have a sense of how to get people over.
Set solid screens, execute each set. And, you know, he's a product of that. He's been, you know, playing that type of basketball since a young age, and it shows.
Freeman bowling people over, gets his own and draws a foul.
Go ahead and get some shots up. Here's the chance right now. You got a minute 50. Go ahead, get them up.
4 non-scholarship players. Cody, how about nailing one here, brother? Just off the mark. And Kearney couldn't get it to go. That is a goaltend. That was a little closer than the previous one that they wiped off. Score the goal for Kearney.
What you're doing. You know, come out here, execute the plays, look like you're a basketball player. Yeah, you see right here, Donnie Freeman just showing his length and athleticism. Yeah, and he has 2 goaltends. The one wasn't a goaltend.
Dev Vaswani, really the guy who's been around the longest. Everybody back across the globe in so many ways. Forget about Vinny Lobdell, fan and supporter of the program. Second free throw with, you know, Chaz Owen's dad. His version of number 30 hangs in the rafters here. We're in the final minute of exhibition number 1. Chaz draws a Clarion foul and had his high school accomplishments throughout Pennsylvania.
That's a good kid too. I mean, we got to know him off the court a little bit. You know, it's hard to really have no conscience.
Yeah,
right
now. Off now.
Yeah, just go. If you get the ball, don't be too excited to where you're traveling. But okay, good luck.
Orange putting up triple digits. Who's going to get the last laugh? Clayton in the lane. Floater, no. Clayton again. Not this time. And that will do it. 101-73 is the final. How about one thought to wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, Syracuse, they really showed their depth, their versatility, and their talent. You know, obviously, it's still some ways to go, but